Today, CISAC is made of more than 200 corporate societies from global perspective. In Africa, we have more than 30 corporate societies, including the Music Corporate Society of Kenya. Hence, our reason of our presence here today in Kenya. We'll be staying with my colleague Gloria Braga, who is an expert of CISAC, to really engage with the corporate societies. And today we are meeting the tripartite made of PRISC, CAP, and MCSK to engage also with policymakers on a number of issues related to the regulatory framework, and also to meet also some of the users to echo the call for complying with payment of royalties in Kenya. This is stemming from broadcasters, where we have most of the revenue streams in Africa, to shops, broadcasters, hotel, restaurant, and cafe, and the like. What will be very key for this mission for us is really to take stock of a number of challenges, I would say. Number one, it's the legal framework. Is the legal framework conducive enough for the CMOs to conduct their mission, to realize the potential of the creativity of Kenya? That will be very, very important. One key issue is, how do we make the business of CMOs a predictable one? We need to have long-term plan. Should we consider 1 year time frame for them to operate, or we can extend that time frame to enable them to have much more strategic vision, which is very, very key. So this is some of the issue we are going to look at. We'll also be looking at the infrastructure. As of today, there's no more way to continue operating in the old system. Today, everything is digital. Licensing, documentation, distribution. How do we also engage with the CMOs and the policymakers on the issue of infrastructure? How do we engage with digital platform? How do we make them compliant with payment of royalties due to the creators? And again, what will be very important will be awareness to the public, awareness to the users, to call them to become copyright friendly. We are really pushing, we at CISAC, this campaign. How do we transform users in copyright friendly users? What do you gain as a user when you comply with payment of royalties? Can this be added to your brand value addition? I pay royalties, I'm a good citizen, I'm a responsible company into the country. Am I contributing to creating jobs for youth in Kenya? Am I contributing to make the hospitality industry much more vibrant when I comply with payment of royalties to societies? So these are some of the issues which we are going to look at. But this is the beginning of a technical cooperation with Kenya. We are here to make the initial assessment, the expectations of Kenya stakeholders, starting with the CMOs, the policymakers, the users, and from there we will elaborate a roadmap for this year and probably the next year. We strongly believe the cultural and creative industry in Kenya deserve a conducive collective management, deserves to remunerate creators. And it's so important that it's not only the royalties collected in Kenya, which we are looking at. We're also looking at royalties collected abroad on behalf of Kenyan creators, because today the music of Kenya is played all around the world. How do we realize the potential of those royalties across the globe and repatriate them into Kenya to make sure creativity in Kenya is remunerated? So for this week to come, we'll be here to engage with a number of stakeholders to look at all these issues. And we really want to commend the 3 CMOs which have really worked to change the landscape over the past 2-3 years after the COVID, to really make collective management again back on tracks. And this is the right time, we believe, we from the International Federation, to support those efforts, to make sure they reap the benefits, and make sure at the end of the day, that young girl, that young boy who creates a song, we craft and music will get remunerated. Key important is all of you are aware of artificial intelligence and the threat which is posing now to the whole ecosystem of creativity. So as a country, we need to embrace that challenge. Which type of legislation do we need? Which type of infrastructure? So the mission will inform on some of these issues, engage with policymakers, with the CMOs, with the creative sector itself, and come with a roadmap. And we strongly believe with this roadmap, in less than 1 year, we can actually make it there to have increase of royalties, increase of revenue. I'll end up with another very important activity we are looking at. You may be aware that Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania will be hosting the African Cup of Nations in 2017. And as you are seeing it today, when you are watching the AFCON happening in Abidjan, it's all about music. How do we make sure such an event is a copyright-friendly event in Kenya? And that's why we are here to start looking ahead. How do we make sure all these big events, sports events, conference, athletic games happening in Kenya becomes copyright-friendly? How do we capture the economic value which is created by such events and translate it into revenues for our creators? So you see, the vision is to position Kenya as a copyright-friendly country through its respective 3 CMOs. So we believe this is the right time to act, to engage, and we are really confident with the support of all of us, the solidarity of we Africans, we can achieve it.